This is a Ulefone Power Armor 14 Pro. It's a rugged phone with a 10,000 mAh battery priced at only $260 right now. At that price, there's a lot of cool things to it, including a headphone jack, microSD expansion, a custom key on the left side, an IP68, IP69K water and dust proof rating. But above all of that, this is definitely the biggest battery in a phone that I've ever held. By the way, yes, this is a sponsored review, but all the opinions in this video come from me and my own experiences. Now let's spend a few days with this phone and see if we can kill it. As you've probably noticed by now, this is a big phone with a big screen. This is a 6.52-inch HD Plus display. While it's hard to use one-handed, there's a couple things to 100% justify that. On top of the gigantic battery, this is a military-grade, rugged phone intended for extreme environments, industrial use, and outdoor activities like diving, boating, camping, all that and more. Again, it's IP68 and IP69K rated, so it's actually waterproof and dustproof, not like most phones with just the IP68 rating. And with the MIL STD 810G certification, this can stand severe conditions and drops from up to 1.5 meters. So yeah, please excuse all the bug sounds in the back in Korea's summer, but yeah, this is the safest phone I think I've ever held. I don't feel like I need to ever put a case on it, so there you go. By the way, there is a protective case available for extra protection and better access to your device. As you can probably tell by now from this phone's size and rugged capabilities, this isn't a phone for everyone, but it's built sturdy for the people and businesses that need a device like this. One really cool underrated feature is a headset-free FM radio. Whenever I've tried listening to radio on my other phones, I usually ran into that pop-up to connect headphones to get it working. It's not as much of an issue anymore these days, but it's still a rare feature, especially on a rugged phone. Super helpful for when you're outdoors and working out in the field. Speaking of which, if you're using this for work or if you're just enjoying the outdoors, you can take some decent shots as this thing does pack a triple rear camera setup with a 20 megapixel main lens. It's not going to win any best camera awards, but it's a reliable shooter for what you need to do with a device like this. It can take up to 1080p 30 fps on both the rear and the front cameras. The front facing camera is a 16 megapixel single lens camera. Very similar story as the rear camera. It won't win any best selfie awards, but it's a reliable camera for what you need to do with it. But Hoyoung, this is a $260 phone. How good can the performance be? Actually, that part surprised me a little bit. So the Power Armor 14 Pro comes with a MediaTek Helio G85 CPU, a Mali G52 GPU, 6 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of internal storage with microSD expansion. While the processor is on the lower to mid-range side and is not going to win any speed competitions, it's nothing to scoff at considering the price tag. I found the phone to be relatively responsive for my day-to-day. While there are many limitations and hangups for certain elements, it performs just as well as other mid-range devices that are about $100 more than this one. The 6 gigs of RAM may sound limiting, but I found the memory management to be pretty decent as well. For the price, I'm satisfied with the general speed and performance here. You really have to consider the use case when thinking about the performance here. In terms of gaming, obviously this phone isn't built for gaming and you're not going to be playing Genshin Impact at high or even medium settings. But so many AAA games these days are optimized for lower to mid-range devices that this can be a casual gaming device. With its giant size and battery, it doesn't really heat up at all, and this is one of the only phones you don't have to worry about battery when gaming. Now, peak performance isn't anything impressive and you're not getting high frame rates here, but sustained performance is pretty consistent. There's also some gaming optimizations through this app called Game Turbo. It's essentially a gaming hub that enables game acceleration and performance optimization. Pretty cool software offerings for a rugged phone. And ironically, the big hardware size actually works out for gaming because you can actually grip better using the big flat edges and the rounded corners here. Now, let's talk software. The Power Armor 14 Pro comes with Android 12 out of the box and it's very similar to stock Android. You have the Google Discover page on the left here, the app drawer and notifications also look very stock Android 12. It's only when you look at some of the first party apps you'll see that they're skinned and the settings are a lot different. Even so, Ulefone's UI is pretty light and I do like what they've done with it, including Game Turbo, their responsive camera app, and the options for mapping the custom key. Then after 2 full days and over 9 hours of actual screen on time, this phone is still at 30%. I couldn't kill this thing. that's just amazing. I've never experienced this much battery on a phone before. Of course, it's not a normal smartphone for the everyday person, but if you're a field technician or you're just lost in the woods, you really don't need to worry about this phone dying on you. Now let's try charging it up to 100% with the included 18-watt charger and see how long it takes to charge. So that took just about 2 hours to go from 30 to 100% for a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Honestly, that's really not bad for charging such a big battery. It also supports up to 15 watts of wireless charging, which is not the best, but it's crazy that it's even available considering the price tag. So all in all, the Ulefone Power Armor 14 Pro is obviously not for the everyday user, but if you're looking for an affordable, rugged battery beast for your work or as a secondary phone for your outdoor adventures, this phone provides some really good value. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you're in the market for a phone like this, and if you are, let me know what you'll be doing with it. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys on the next video.